So I've had somebody called Scoochie Mama 2 write in with lots of questions. So I've decided to spread them over a few days. But Scoochie Mama 2 starts, just stumbled across your page and have already learned a lot. For someone who doesn't play an instrument, I have a few questions. I've always wondered, what's a day in the life of an orchestral player like, depending upon concerts, of course. Do they rehearse every day? How long are their days? Day 159, Ask the Maestro. Well, I think it depends as a starting point. If you are assigned a seat in an orchestra and therefore you're employed and 90% of your playing is done with that orchestra, or if you're a freelancer, in which case you're not tied to any particular orchestra and you are just gigging around here and there and everywhere. So let's talk about somebody who's got a seat in an orchestra first. There will be a concert season that will happen over a certain many months of the year, and you'll be assigned to certain concerts within that season. And usually in the run up to concerts, it depends if it's new material, repeated material, challenging, relatively easy. It depends upon a whole host of things. But normally we might have 2, 3, or 4 maximum days worth of rehearsal before the concert. And those days can be 2-session days. So you'd rehearse for 6 hours in total. It really varies massively depending upon the orchestra and the country you're in. In the UK, for instance, if you're a freelance player, the norm is that you will come to a 3-hour rehearsal in the afternoon, and then in the evening you play the concert. That's it. And you need to be good enough that you know that when you turn up to the rehearsal, you can play it like that. In terms of how long their days are, I do sometimes I conduct rehearsal days and performance days where it's a 2-session rehearsal day, so a morning session, an afternoon session, and then the concert in the evening. So we might start at 9 a.m. in the morning, we might finish at 10:30 in the evening, and then of course you've got an hour travel either side of that usually. So incredibly long days. Do they rehearse every single day? No, they rehearse specifically for concerts. However, players, in particular brass players, have to play every single day. And that's because brass players, their lips are their muscles. That's part of their instrument. And the lips are like any other muscle. If you don't use them regularly, they very fast fizzle out and they need to stay on form and in shape. Otherwise, you can take a whole week off and then all of a sudden you put your instrument back on your lips and they don't work properly. So brass players tend to play every single day, even if it's only for 10 or 15 minutes. Other musicians in other sections of the orchestra don't necessarily need to do that, but you will find that most musicians will pick up their instrument and play almost every single day. It's a demanding job. It's not just a job, it's a way of life. It's a vocation. It's within your DNA. It's something that you're born to do and you feel like it's just part of you. And without that, you are not a whole person. It's very difficult to describe. It's not like I don't know, you work in a bar, you go home, you leave your job at the bar, and it's not like you feel like you were born maybe to work in a bar. So it's such an unusual career to have, and it has a lot of challenges, a lot of stress, actually. A lot of musicians in orchestras are terribly unhappy. A lot of them have got stage fright, nerves problems. There's a crazy statistic, a very large proportion of orchestral players take beta blockers to make sure that they keep their nerves calm. It's not as easy as it looks, I can tell you that. Another question answered, another mystery solved. I'm Robert Emery. See you tomorrow.